You're watching and now the band. We're here with the mighty Mario Quintero of Spotlights. And for those of you that don't know, he is also a very, very well-respected engineer, producer, mixer, master, all of those things.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the
Thanks for
music
having me.
that you put out. It's I've been a fan. Funny enough, 10 years this year because titles.
Oh yeah. Yep. I know, it's crazy, right?
Yes, like.
Been a
And
wild 10 years.
seeing you guys as as spotlights, seeing you guys in these huge places, which was my first introduction.
Yeah.
I think it was like eight or 9,000 people in Michigan at Freedom Hill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. That's
And
when
then
it got rained out at that place, right?
it rained, but it didn't rain out. Like it,
Oh, right. Yeah, we still played, but it was I remember like covering the pedal boards with garbage
yeah,
bags and yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then, of course, I've traveled everywhere to see you guys, but the music that Spotlights makes, I is it's my favorite fucking music, dude. Like,
Thanks, man.
just like it gives me everything I want. So
Awesome.
we're not here about spotlights, though.
Yeah, it's all good. I still appreciate it.
Yeah. So I was just saying, I really, I'm. You have touched some of my favorite albums in the last few years. Of course, Alchemy for the Dead is fucking way up there,
Oh,
which
thanks.
is a little different than what you guys had done previously. But
Right.
also, Pallbearer's Mine Burns Alive. Then you remixed Foundations of Burden, also from Pallbearer. But
Yeah.
also, fucking Hiroe. Like, I love those guys.
I love those guys too, man. They're awesome.
Yes, and the kindest fucking people.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've known Eric since 2003. I met him. He's actually one of the first people, maybe like the third person in my life that paid me to record him. It was yeah, and I this was before I had a studio and when we lived in San Diego at the time. Um I had like a little old it's a Digi 001, which is like the early Pro Tools like kind of consumer unit that you could it had a couple inputs and a couple preamps. And I took that over to his house and we recorded his band was called Japanese Sunday at the time. And we recorded his band in his living room. And I just remember like that was fucking aw they were awesome back then too. He was amazing back then.
yeah,
And yeah, little by little from there we just I recorded then I made once I had my studio we made his he was like one of the first records that we made there, the first Japanese Sunday. Then we made another one. We've just been friends forever. He's a great dude.
yeah. He when I talked to him, probably last year. It was last year at Post Fest.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's
Oh,
so
right.
cool that Mario fucking touched your shit. He's like, Mario's the only guy. Like, I'm like, that's so awesome because
I
I,
love it.
a lot of it, I think first and foremost for you, like you have a very um, unique ear,
Thanks.
right? And I think what you're going for is different than what uh, a lot of people really look for.
Right.
You're looking, to me, outsider looking in, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
Sure.
you're looking more for the authenticity in their performance versus having this immaculate, like,
Yeah. Yeah,
right,
for sure. And I mean, I think that's always kind of been my goal is to like ride the line between, you want things to sound good and the productions, depending on the band. I like to take whatever the band is and without inserting myself into the sound, take that and kind of make them as big and epic as I think they can be. But while still making it cool and retaining like the raw, I don't know, for lack of a better word, rawness, but not um yeah, there's a line that I like to ride between like good big production but still very live and natural feeling, you know.
yeah.
That's what I've always hoped to achieve.
I think,
But yeah, like
I
you said,
think,
also like keeping in mind that the song is the most important thing.
yeah.
The microphone
That
doesn't matter, the fucking cable doesn't matter, the preamp, all that stuff. Like, yes, it matters, but
maybe a little bit,
it
right?
is
Like,
literally like in the 10, like in the last 5%. You know,
yeah,
if the song's not good, if the tones coming out of the amps aren't good, if the drums aren't tuned right, if the guitar is out of tune, like all those things are way more important. And even when it comes to mixing, especially if you don't have the the meat and potatoes to start with, then you got nothing, you know.
right. Well, I mean, if you take a pile of shit and you put two pieces of bread, like you,
Yeah,
oh
actually, I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and we were like, the analogy we came up with is like, you can polish a turd, but it's still just a shiny turd.
yeah, yes, yeah. That's what I go for. Shiny turds
Yeah.
everywhere. Like, oh shit. So I guess, for you, when you first got into like production and engineering, what versus today, like what has changed for you, or what things have really stood out that made you go, man, this is something that I need to like do every time.
Um, that's a tough question. I think, I mean, it's evolved so much, not only like for me, but just the industry and like the way it's done. I started when I was probably like 18, like around 2000 or 19, yeah, I wish I was that young. Like 1997, I guess it was,
You're such an old
1996.
man,
Yeah. I'm about to turn 50 this year.
dude.
Uh,
I
you
just
hit
turned
50
50.
on nice,
Yep.
man. Congrats. We're
Thanks.
doing good. I'm proud of us.
I agree.
We're
I think
killing
we
it for
we
50,
we both look really good for
you know.
50.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
I feel like a little kid still, so.
Me fucking too. I just went and saw I was like, "Hey Jen, I'm gonna go see like High on Fire and Conan and Blessed Black," and she's like, "Cool, have fun, see
Hell
ya." I'm
yeah.
like,
That's what keeps you young, man.
"Yeah, yeah,
But anyway, yeah, so there's a when I started, it was kind of at the time where the whole like analog to digital conversion was happening. So like tape was starting to go away and people were trying to use at that time there were like some hard disk recorders, like I believe Tascam had a hard disk like 24 track recorder. But ADAT was the ones that came along, and it was Alesis, the company Alesis came out with the ADAT, which was like an 8 track recorder. It was basically like a VCR, and it used Super VHS tapes, and you could put 8 tracks on there, and you could manipulate them to an extent where you could like shift tracks back and forth. So I came in when I really started getting into recording was right around that time. I had learned a little bit of tape, like, working with tape, and I didn't really have to do much tape editing at that point because I just didn't really know what I was doing. Um, and I couldn't afford a tape machine for like my own home studio in my
right."
at my parents' house at that time when I was like 17 or 18. And so I was at a community college where they had a little studio and they had a tape machine. They had like an old Tascam 1 inch 16 track machine, but they also had just gotten the ADATs. So I would go in there and just mess around and learn on both things. And literally 3 years later, Pro Tools already existed at that time, but Pro Tools came out at a consumer level where like what I was talking about earlier, that Digi 001 unit came out, I think 99 or something like that. And I was lucky enough to have roommates and friends that were also into music and recording and had number one, a nice Mac for the time. It was like a 400 gigahertz, Mac tower. And my friend Jason, I think, got Pro Tools. So he bought the 001 and we had it in our basement. And that's really when I kind of started getting into digital and like learning learning how to use that as much as possible. But to your question, as far as like what has kind of changed things for me, um, learning to like, I mean, it's been a long, long process. So we're talking, this is like 30 years ago, you know,
Yeah.
and over those 30 years, I've slowly come to the realization that less is more. You know, when you're
You know,
starting out, you're just like, manipulating everything, tweaking every single sound. I would sit there on a kick drum and just like fucking tweak the EQ until I like would lose my mind for hours, just like, why can't I get it to sound like, that perfect kick drum? And it's just you realize it's just a matter of time. It's like learning how to play an instrument.
Yeah.
Like you can't pick up a guitar and just start playing Jimi Hendrix all of a sudden.
I don't know. Today, I think you fucking can. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can prompt AI to make you do it.
well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, like, you know, that is actually a very like that's something that I think about a lot. I think
Uh-huh.
musicians today get better faster than
100%.
when we were growing up. The accessibility
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
YouTube and all of these digital learning
Oh, dude,
whatevers.
all the information that's out there. Like for us, that's a great point because like for us at that time, you know, you just didn't know. You were just using your ears, literally. Like
Yeah,
no nothing else other than like a little bit of theory that you might have learned from a book or something. But
and what you talk to your friends
it was
about,
all
and
just
like,
like shedding,
yeah,
man. You're just sitting there trying things and listening and trying and listening here and in the car and at the like, we didn't all have like earbuds and Bluetooth speakers. It was like you had
yeah,
to burn a CD or make like a DAT tape and then make a tape off of that, an actual cassette tape. There was such a process to just like hearing what you did once, where now it's
yeah,
like instant. So like you can get better just from, regardless of the information, just from your reps of doing it, you can get it so much faster. So,
yeah,
um, but yeah, over time, I just and it took years and years. It literally wasn't until like I would say in the last decade that I kind of like hit a point where I just started doing a lot less to the audio and like manipulating things a lot less and just work like paying more attention to balance between the instruments and spacing and um it's just crazy. And then I think it's just a matter of time. You do it enough and things get easier and you start using less plugins and you start using less EQ and knowing how to kind of make things work without having to just destroy them into shape.
yeah. Well, like if you have to destroy them into shape, like then is the like foundation really there? You know what I
Yeah, it's
mean?
like I mean I you can kind of relate it to like cooking, let's say. Like if you have good ingredients and you start adding all this fucking like cumin and shit to them that doesn't need, then it just covers up, it ruins the actual ingredient.
Yeah.
Where like if you know how to just sparkle, put a little bit of salt on there, a little olive
A
oil,
little
whatever it
flair
needs,
here.
and
Yeah.
it brings out the flavor. Like that's, but again, I don't think you can learn that until without just doing it over and over again.
Trial and error. I mean
Yeah.
that I think is a lot of it, which is, you know, I I think, and I'm going to ask you this because it doesn't matter what I think. Like you're the fucking genius here.
No,
So
it's not true.
you are. You absolutely are. And
Thanks,
like
man.
with music, I don't know what it is in your brain. I love it. Like you create whatever you create is for me, it's what my fucking soul needs. Like every album, just like
Oh, that's
holy
awesome.
shit.
Thank you,
Like
man.
so like for you, obviously with spotlights and you and the ability to be behind the board as well as in front of the board, like
Right.
do you feel like as an engineer and producer that teaches you stuff like because you have a certain freedom as the artist to do with what you want?
Yeah, yes and no. Sometimes it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like for me, I grew up doing that. Like, even when I was a little kid, like I would be like making music and recording it myself. And like when I had bands in high school and stuff, I was always the guy like rigging up the stereo somehow and hanging a mic from the ceiling to like get the best tape recording that we could of our practice or whatever. Um, to the point where like I mean I really in my life I've recorded with another engineer, I'd say maybe 5 times in my life, like with somebody else manning the controls or
Yeah.
just working the controls. because I've always just had that. It's always been one for me, like recording and playing and writing and everything has always just been one thing. And so, yeah, like in spotlights, let's say, like when I'm writing, I'm already recording. I'm in my studio, luckily I have a setup where I can just kind of be ready to go and I plug in, I might program a quick drum beat or something and then put the riff down and I'm already thinking of like this the sonic sound of the record. I'm not necessarily just like putting it down and then we'll see what happens later. Like I'm already kind of envisioning what it's going to sound like at the end and almost like
Working
deconstructing it
backwards almost.
as
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Obviously then once it's kind of demoed out and finished or like close to finished, then you start building it back up to whatever it's going to end up being. But it makes it much easier for me at that point to like just you're not worrying about like it's the difference between like sitting in a room with your band and just kind of jamming and you record it on the phone and like you're like all right the song's cool now let's go record it and you're starting from scratch. I kind of work backwards to the point where it's like we're getting the sonic ideas already. And then when we go into the studio, we're already there. We're already most of the way there. It's just a matter of now we can really experiment with tones, what's coming out of the amps, the drum kit, you know, doing different things with the cymbals, using different rooms, um, all that stuff. So it definitely helps. I think it helps. But then, like I was saying, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword because I'm so inside of it that it's sometimes hard to like pull away and
Oh yeah. It's like
get kind
being
of an objective view of things because you're so inside the whole process that
it's being
um
nose blind, right? Like if you're in
yeah,
a house with 50 dogs, you don't know it smells like
yeah.
dogs. It's just your house, you know?
Exactly, yeah. Well, luckily then I have Sarah to always set me straight and I can tell when she's like no. She just won't say anything. If she doesn't say anything, then I know I need to keep working on
You're
something
like,
to
I
make
gotta
it better.
fix something here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's funny. That's you know that that's got to be cool too because obviously I know how much you two love each other. Um, so it's got to be cool to have someone that you trust at that level to run ideas by and to create ideas with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like,
amazing. You know,
does that do
it's
you
hard
translate?
sometimes, obviously,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's, sometimes, like, let's say I have a mix I'm working on or something, and I send it to a buddy of mine to just put his ears on or whatever. Usually they're going to be a little more like, "Oh man, it sounds awesome. I might like tweak this or that." But with her, she's so honest with me, and we are with each other. Like we know we know each other better than anybody else. So there's really no fluff to it, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. Or it's fucking amazing. Like, there's not a lot of like we don't have to like tiptoe
there's
around
no
the
gray area.
opinions as
It's
much. So
yeah,
sometimes it's like, oof, all right, okay. So I need to go back and and reassess. Or right off the bat, I'm like, all right, sweet, it's done. It's perfect.
it's there. Quit working on that. What's
Yeah.
next?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's helpful to have for sure.
yeah. That's super cool. So something I just found out about this band maybe last year. Was it last year or the year before? Matt, remind me if I forget.
Who's that?
Blair.
Amblare?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're fucking amazing. So that was um I was super like honored to have a part in mixing that record because that was Brian St. Pierre, the old drummer from Hum, before he passed away. That's the last record that he made.
yeah,
And it was kind of like a side project that he had going on with this guy Matt McGuire, who's an incredible musician. The guy is like a monster
dude.
on every
Like
level.
I actually he was like he's playing with Fairy Ring right now,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's when I was in Chattanooga for Heavy Valley,
yeah.
and Fairy Ring played, and of course I love
They're
those guys.
awesome.
I see
Yeah.
them all the time. But Matt, when he joined Fairy Ring, I was like, I don't know, I like the other guy, you know. And then
Uh,
I saw him, and I was like, oh, who? Who is the other guy?
yeah, he's a fucking monster, man. And like on drums, obviously, but then on guitar, his voice is incredible. He's just a
Yeah,
great songwriter and like um yeah, that album was super special to work on and the songs are incredible. I actually just it's funny because I was working on my website earlier just updating some things and I had a video of theirs on there that I couldn't find anymore. I think it got moved or taken off or something. So I went to their Bandcamp and added a link to that, and I was checking it out. It's so good.
it is such a
Yeah.
good album. I don't remember who they were playing with, but we were like, I'm like, oh, we're gonna go because like we got some friends playing, so we go to the show and they played, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Was it a
Like this
Loose
is
Cobra?
no,
Yeah.
it was here in Louisville
Oh, okay.
at Portal.
Dang.
God, I don't remember. Like I was like, I don't even know who this is. And then
Yeah.
Alex from Fairy Ring was playing, Alex and Matt, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
I know these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was fucking great. And then I found out later that you mixed, and I was like, hold on, how are how did I not know about this
Yeah. It's
already?
a
Damn
small
it.
world, man.
Yes. And the coolest thing, one of my favorite things is like experiences.
Yeah.
So I was able to experience that with my wife and daughter, who, of course, loved that as well. So I'm like, okay, I guess I got to buy vinyl now. Um, but so to have a first experience with an artist that you really, really enjoy with those you love
Right.
is it's so special, man.
Yeah, man. It's all about the experiences,
Yes,
for sure.
100%. So what are you working on now?
I've been a little slow lately. I'm kind of just, been doing, well, not super slow. I just finished, and I don't think they'll mind me saying I finished working on the new Bunuel record, which I don't know if you know Bunuel or if you know of Eugene Robinson. He was the singer for Oxbow,
Okay.
who kind of just stopped playing recently, but unfortunately he just had a bad like a stroke and he's been recovering. Luckily, he is recovering and he's doing well. And the guy's a beast. He's there's no way that he's gonna let that take him down because he's just like he's a he's a killer dude. And yeah, so while we were working on the record, while I was mixing the record, that happened, and um, you know, thing kind of put a little bit of a wrench in things. But we finished it up, and I'm mastering that now. And what else? Then a bunch of just, I get a lot of songs just from like not quite local bands, but just people from smaller bands that are always sending me stuff. And that's kind of really some of my favorite thing to work on is just when a band from somewhere in Boise or something heard my stuff and liked it and they send me a couple songs to mix. So doing a lot of that stuff, but most recently, also, I just finished finished it almost a year ago, but it's coming out now, is the Moon Destroys record. Have you heard that? Have you
I
heard any
have
of the
not.
singles they've been putting out?
Uh-uh.
That's a really cool record too. It's a band with Evan DePrima as the drummer from he used to play in Royal Thunder. Do you remember that
Oh,
band?
I do. Yep.
And then Juan
Actually,
Montoya, who was one of the original members of Torch, is in that band as well. It's
I'm I'm making notes because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
check it
have
out.
to
Moon
go.
Destroys.
Yes,
So I'm
have to
stoked
go
about
like
that one coming out. It's funny doing this stuff because like you'll work on an album and it'll be finished, but people won't know about it until like a year or two later, you know. So it's a long game kind of cycle because you have to wait for things to kind of it's all word of mouth for me and you know, it takes a while for the word to get out and then come back. But
that's how in my amateur opinion or humble opinion, whatever.
yeah,
I think that has always been the best way for people to build a fan base of sorts,
for
whether
sure.
you're on the producer and engineering side or on the artist side. It's, look at fucking Crowbar right now.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's insane. It's so
They're
awesome.
hell
That's
yeah,
like
it
when,
is.
that's like when I know being like older, we always kind of get all curmudgeon about the internet and the kids and their TikTok and all that shit, but it's like sometimes it works in
Dude.
in cool ways, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's always going to be a lot of bullshit, but there's a lot of good that comes out of it too. And seeing stuff like that is awesome.
It's so weird though. Like, Acid Bath, Crowbar, fucking I Hate God, like their shows right
It's
now.
insane.
It is I'm like, where were all these people before?
Well, and so many other bands too. Like look at like the new metal scene, or even like
Oh
I know
yeah.
they don't like to be part of this, but like Deftones is bigger than they've ever been. All those System of a Down, all those bands are like bigger than they ever were back in the day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's mind-boggling. And as much as I love Deftones, they've turned me on to a lot of great music.
For
Like the
sure.
shows they're playing now, I don't want to go to these shows.
No, I know. It's
Like
yeah.
I saw you in a room with 700 people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly.
now you're playing to 30,000.
But it's so awesome. It's great.
I love it for them,
Yeah.
right? This is the same thing that I hope happens to spotlights also.
Ah, yeah.
Like I want you guys to
I'll
have
take
all
1,000, man. If we
right.
can get to 1,000, that would be amazing.
It's my favorite thing um is seeing bands gain new fans.
Yeah.
Right. When you guys did the Mr. Bungle Melvin's show at Palladium, I was honored to be able to like be there and see you. And I know like I'm of course in the crowd and you guys had no fucking idea I was there, which was super cool.
That is
Um
crazy.
like I'm watching you guys and I'm listening to the crowd and I
Yeah.
was so happy to hear like, oh my God, these guys are so fucking good.
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
hell yeah, they are.
Yeah, that
Like,
show was crazy. Like what a crazy like aligning of stars to be playing the Palladium with Mr. Bungle and the Melvins. It's like
dude,
it's such
mind-boggling. And
yeah,
that place
it's
was
wild. It was
was
fucking
so
packed. It
packed.
was
Yes.
insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
so live, how do you take like as the engineer and producer, how do
Hmm.
you translate that live? Because obviously you can't be on the board and
Yeah.
performing.
It takes a lot of annoying my bandmates and just being a pain in the ass all the time and um I think it's a benefit for sure because my ears I'm just always listening for things. So like I'm listening in that mode when I'm playing, I'm listening at sound check when we're practicing, so if something's a little the balance is weird or like I think the bass might need a little more high mid or something for that one part. And I drive Sarah crazy all the time, like being like, maybe just like one little notch more for that one section and that one part on that pedal, like, and she'll just like roll her eyes at me. But it all pays off in the end, I think, and especially a band like us that we can't always have our own sound engineer and we can't always be playing the Palladium and sometimes it's just some dive bar in the middle of Tulsa and you barely even have a PA and like I want the band to sound as good as possible off the stage. So we've kind of dialed ourselves in through all that work and detailed and paying attention to those details um, to just come off the stage sounding good. So then anything that they can do just helps, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that you said dive bar. I was thinking of that show you guys played at Kaiju where it
oh
was
yeah,
like
that was crazy. People were going nuts at that show.
they were, dude. It was
That was
such a
amazing.
good fucking show. To see
Yeah.
you guys in that environment, I was like, I could do
Those are my
this,
favorite shows, man. Like that's the
dude.
thing is like as much as I would love to play big shows and I do love playing big shows, there's nothing like having the audience right in front of you and they're being pushed around and it's just like that's the
It's a
best connection you can ever have with
it's a
with an
very
audience.
different energy,
Yeah.
like, and I guess when I was young, I didn't really understand it, right? Like you go to a show and it's like it's packed and it's fun, and then you go to
Yeah.
another show and the bands are great, but it's like half full, and you're like, hey, they're
Yeah.
they're good. This is cool.
Yeah, there's a
No,
different vibe. And the band
100%.
feels it and it's like it kind of goes it spreads through the room when it's awkward or weird.
It
Um,
spreads to the room when it's electric too,
oh
right?
yeah, for
Like
sure.
And it's to
It's amazing. It's
that
awesome.
was my Sam was at that Kaiju show, and
Yeah.
like we're watching you guys, and he fucking hits me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and he's just grinning
Oh yeah.
ear to ear. I'm like, yes.
That's awesome. Yeah,
And
and like to your last question with the engineering translating to live, like to what I said earlier, I've also learned that like less is more there too. And I always kind of preach that to people when they're like, "How do you guys get these tones? How do you do this?" You know, I'm like, just don't do too much. Like I know it seems like we have a lot of pedals and a lot of stuff, but when you dig down into it, we're not doing that much to like the sound. You have a decent amp, you know how to just dial the EQ in or whatever you have, whatever dials you have to work with, be subtle and like, listen and just listen. Not just, don't think about like what the guy on YouTube does or what the other band that you like does. Like you're never gonna, you're a different human being on a different instrument in a different room with a different setup. Even if you had
the exact
everything
same
that that
setup.
person
Yeah,
has, it's not gonna sound like that. So listen as yourself and be like honest and open your ears and don't tweak too much. People kind of like over tweak, and I see these a lot of bands where I'm like, man, they could be really good, but they're just like trying too hard with like to get the sound instead of like just concerning themselves with what's actually happening on stage. And then people get a little too like siloed on their own shit. So like the drummer's only concerned with his stuff, the bass player's only concerned with their stuff. Like it's all very like closed off, and you can hear it when you see bands sometimes you can
yeah,
just tell. So it's like listening as a unit. How is the bass, like realizing how the balance between the bass and the drums and the guitars all play off each other and enhance each other instead of always being like, well, I can't hear myself in that part. It's like, well, that's because it's supposed to be like that, you know. Everybody's all worried about hearing themselves all the time. Um,
that's part
it's a
of the
band,
issue.
it's not a solo project. So
I think that's part of the issue I have with like when you get into a lot of like tech death, and I love tech death
yeah.
because the musicianship is,
Oh yeah, it's insane.
dude. I'm just like, what? But sometimes you see those bands and it's like you guys are all just like soloing at each other.
Yeah,
You're not serving the song,
right.
and it doesn't it doesn't translate. It's like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yngwie Malmsteen because
Yeah.
like
But there are
he's
people who do that stuff well, and the
yes.
ones that do it well are doing it as a unit. Like you can,
Yeah.
it's hitting all together and it's hitting you in a way that's like emotional, you know, not just like, wow, you can play fast, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that is such a key part to music is is the emotions that it like
yeah,
vomits at you, or
exactly.
that it makes you feel, right? Like
Yep.
that's when you're like engineering and stuff, is that something you're like looking to do to make sure that like is
Yeah.
very out front?
100%. Yeah, especially like, and I don't record bands that much these days. I've kind of veered myself into being more just of a mixer, but I still like producing, and I still, if I am recording a band that I really love and a record that I wanted to be involved with, like that's a big part of the challenge is kind of getting the band members to step outside themselves a little bit and start seeing things more objectively. Because almost like what we were saying earlier, it's hard when you're so involved in something, you get stuck in your space and you can only kind of hear what's going on here. Um, so sometimes it takes like convincing the bass player to just not overplay and let the let let the music have a little space and remember that you're supposed to be the low end here. You're supposed to carry the weight, not poke through the whole time and be like noticed, you know. You're
Right.
being noticed because you're making the whole thing sound amazing, you know. So
That
it's like it's that drummers like it depends on every situation's different, but it's kind of like playing the psychological game of getting people to realize what the important thing is, you know.
it's the ego, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we all have it, like it's normal,
yeah.
but and some people deal with it better than others. Sometimes you really have to I mean, one of the harder things about being a recording engineer, like an actual tracking engineer, is it takes a lot of patience and you have to have a lot of like good like bedside manner when you're trying to tell a guy that like or just to be like, um, I don't think maybe maybe we should try a different fill because like that one just maybe seems a little too busy or whatever. And basically you're trying to tell him you can't play that. Like you're not landing it. Let's let's strip it down and do something that you can play because it's gonna help the song. But
Yeah,
there's ways of saying things that can kind of
you
and you
gotta.
have to make it feel like it's their idea. Sometimes people need that where they need to feel like it's coming from them. So there's a lot of psychology involved, and it can be draining, man. Like that's part of why I don't really record that much these days is just because it's super draining. And then by the time I get to the mixing part, which is my favorite part, I'm a little worn on the whole record. Where like
Yeah.
I love when I'm working with a good engineer, especially like if somebody who I respect has recorded this album and it gets sent to me and it's like opening a present of these like beautiful sounds that I get to now like put in place and it doesn't take a ton of work and it's just awesome.
Hell yeah. I like I like the thought of like opening presents, like new music.
Oh, dude, it's the best. Yeah. And think
Like,
about like when I get it, I get to see all the insides and see, so
yeah.
it's like to me it's awesome to hear, okay, let's hear what kind of mics we got on the kick drum. Let's hear what the snare sounds like. And then just start throwing it together and you create this picture and it's a lot of fun. I'm very
So
lucky
what
to do that in
what
my job.
what has been your like I'm gonna ask you to answer this, but
Uh-huh.
I understand if you don't want to. But is there like an album to you that stands out and really shines that you've worked on? I mean, they all shine. Not get
Yeah, I mean they're all so different, man. It's like
yeah,
one very special one that I've worked on recently for me was the Shiner record, the last Shiner record that came out. Do you know
which is
Shiner?
fucking awesome.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, man, thanks. I've been such a huge fan of those guys since I was like 20 years old and
Well, you're like friends. You've been friends with them for a long
yeah, and
time too,
like I've
which
I've
is
become friends with them through the music and through playing and stuff. But I still admire them and they're still some of the best musicians, for me and some of the coolest songs and like life-changing songs for me. So like um not only to like be their friends and be able to I've played in Shiner. I'm actually getting ready to play some shows with those guys again coming up soon. Um but to get to mix one of their records was a huge milestone for me as an engineer and as a fan and as a friend. Um and they're just so good that like it took work like for sure we worked really hard on it and uh it took some work but man it was fun the whole time because everything is good like the drumming is good. Paul Malinowski, their bass player who recorded it, he has a studio in Kansas City. He recorded and tracked everything and he's a beast in the studio. So like the room mics, everything just sounded so awesome that like it was like I'm saying, like opening a present. Every time I would get a session and start playing with it, it's just a joy to like put it all together um and then when again, kind of a nerve-wracking moment because being such a fan and knowing that they have kind of such a die-hard like cult following that's very
yeah,
like, don't mess with our Shiner, we like what they sound like kind of thing. Um, it was a little nerve-wracking too because not only have they grown as a band and their music is just different, it's evolved a ton and I think it's amazing. Um, Sonically, I wanted to take it to a whole other place, than they've been. And so I was a little worried, but it ended up working out and I get a lot of comments about that record still and so I'd say that's one of my faves that I've gotten to do.
that's fucking
There's a
cool. My
lot. I mean, there's a lot for different reasons, but that one in particular
sure.
stands out.
That's the most recent one that's like, hey,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
introduction to them was through you guys actually.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, at the we played Cincinnati at Woodrow Theater, maybe.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Um, I was like, fucking Spotlights, I'm going to see Spotlights. And then Shiner played, headline, and I was like, oh, they're fucking good too. Okay,
Yeah,
now I
thanks.
got to dig into this. So,
Oh yeah, awesome, man.
and
Um,
that was who else was on that? Knife the Symphony was on that show.
okay. I don't think I know those guys.
They are
Yeah,
rad as fuck. I think you'd
nice.
enjoy them. Like
Yeah, I bet. Awesome.
they crushed. I was like, okay, this is a great show. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, that is probably one of my favorite things is like going to a show and seeing bands that you're completely not familiar with and them just
Yeah.
blowing your
Oh
mind.
yeah, that's the best, man.
So, uh, you're playing with, are you playing with Shiner or are you doing,
So I'm playing with them for these shows. I think we're playing Lexington actually at some point in September or October, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. They haven't actually announced that I'm filling in for this one, I don't think, but that's all right. I'll announce it for them.
congratulations?
Because I'm learning like 25 songs right now for them, so I don't mind. But it's awesome and I'm stoked. I love those guys, love hanging out with them and playing with them is just like an honor. So, um, yeah, it's always a bummer that Josh, their other guitar player, Josh Newton, uh, he does guitar teching for big bands and stuff. And so when he gets called for work, he kind of has to take it. And then I get
Yeah.
to be the fifth shiner and jump in.
But that's super fucking cool though.
It's
I'm
awesome.
looking to see
Yeah.
when you guys are playing Lexington because uh, is it with Shiner or Molly McGuire? McGuire's in
Both,
Lexington.
both. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lexington or something like that. Or maybe not.
Uh,
Maybe I'm confusing. I'm because I'm doing some shows with Pallbearer too. I'm working with them teching for them in September. So maybe I'm thinking of Pallbearer. They're playing Lexington.
Paul,
Yeah,
yeah, Pallbearer's at the Burl in Lexington,
that's what I was thinking of.
and then of course Molly McGuire's at. I don't
Green
know if it's
Lantern.
is it Green Lantern or Owls? Probably Green Lantern.
I think it's Green Lantern we're doing.
I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Yeah, that'll be
Um,
fun too.
yeah. Now I'm told, and I could be wrong, but I'm told that Crop is maybe playing with Pallbearer in Cincinnati.
I don't know. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think so because so Crop played with Pallbearer at Zanzibar here, and the
Okay.
Pallbearer guys were like, "Oh, you guys are rad."
Oh yeah,
So
they're awesome, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and our buddy Josh, who does a lot of our artwork,
is now
is
playing with
is playing
fucking
with
Crop
Crop now
too.
too. Yeah.
Cool. Swamp Hawk.
Yeah, Swamp Hawk, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Josh, like he is such a great fucking artist, dude.
He's amazing.
Like mind-boggling good. I'm
Yeah,
like, hey, do this. He's like, done. How's
I
that?
know. I
Holy
know. He's
fuck.
so cool and just such a good dude, man, and so easygoing and yeah, he's a badass.
Yeah, he is, dude. I've gotten to know him pretty good over the last like 3 or 4 years, and it's
Nice.
what a fucking just a good like down to earth. Like, yeah, that's cool. We can fucking do that. Let's.
Yep. He's
All
so easy to
right.
work with. I know.
Yeah,
Yep. He
yeah. He
spoils
did.
us.
He did the last album you guys put out too, right?
Yeah, the rarities one.
Yeah.
And he
Thank you
actually
for putting
redid
that out.
we're
I was
re-releasing what's that?
I said thanks for putting that out. I was super fucking stoked
Oh, for
because
sure, man.
a lot of those
Thank
songs,
you. That
I
was
want that
awesome.
on vinyl. Like I need that on vinyl.
Yeah, yeah. And we're re-releasing titles too. Um, and he did some artwork for that. So we kind of revamped the artwork and when are you gonna post this? I don't know. We might have to cut that actually.
Finally,
What's
I will. Okay, so
No, I
nothing
don't
on
know.
titles.
But coming up soon, yeah, we're working on for the 10-year anniversary, we're re-releasing titles, so um we can let them know. It's okay. They don't know how it's gonna happen and where it's gonna happen. But
So I won't ask my next questions because I'll
yeah,
figure that out soon
yeah, we'll
enough.
wait for a different episode for
Yeah.
that.
Yes. That's dude. I can't tell you how many fucking Spotlights records I have. I have every vinyl you guys
Oh,
put out. I
thanks, man.
actually, was it last year? I was like just hunting for different variants,
Yeah.
and there was a label in France that
Oh
had,
yeah.
so, and I was like, "Uh,
Medication time, I think is the label.
possibly, I don't
Yeah.
even, I, without looking, I couldn't tell you, but it was,
Yeah.
they had a variant that I had never seen, and
It's
I'm
like
like,
that blue and white variant.
it was like splatter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck, no. So of course I ordered like two or three of those so
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Thanks,
could give
man.
them away.
I love
Yeah,
the support. It's awesome.
I love the music. And I like the friendship that we have too,
For
right? Which
sure.
is I always every time I see you, I feel like a punisher, and I really try not to, I'm like,
No, you're great. You're awesome, man. It's great. It's always good to see you. We feel bad because we're in the middle of work, work zone, so it's like we don't have a lot of time to chat
uh,
usually, um but it's
get shit going on. Like
always
I get
awesome
it.
having you there. Yeah.
Like do your thing. That
Yeah.
again, right? Like um the life provides you, I think, provides all of us opportunities.
Yeah.
And going back to, experiences being the number one thing, the coolest thing is as a fan of you guys, the three of you as people and as a band, it's really cool to see the opportunities that um, I don't want to say that you've been given, but that are in front of you,
Yeah.
right? Because you've worked really fucking hard to get where you are, and
Sure,
then to
sure.
see you like capitalize on that and to share that with people that I love,
Oh, it's awesome, man. Yeah.
like taking Jen and Bailey to see you guys in Columbus and again in Detroit with Baroness
Yeah.
was fucking awesome. And then
Yeah. Well, and
uh
for us, it's amazing too, just to see these people like you, fans that we've recognized your face since the beginning, since our first tour with Deftones. Like, we met so many people on that tour and made, you know, like friends and fans, and just so many of those are still with us. And it's so crazy, like, to travel around the country and you just see people that I've known for a decade now. You know,
yeah,
it's and they're still there and still supporting, and it's amazing. So we appreciate it for real. It's awesome.
it's super fucking awesome. Like it's I like that you guys are still going. I like seeing the it looks like when you guys were in New Zealand, it looks like that fucking absolutely
That was
crushed, dude.
amazing. Yeah, one of the best tours we've ever done,
That's super
for
fucking
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
So I I know we're here as like engineer and producer.
Oh, all good.
So
It all plays a part, it's all part of one thing, so
this is the truth.
yeah.
So the big question for us Spotlights fans, is there, aside from the titles thing,
Uh,
uh, are you guys working on new music?
yeah, yeah, we're working on stuff. There's some demos happening for sure. Um, yeah,
I'm not asking about a timeline because
yeah,
like
yeah. No,
all
I
in
mean, I
good
think
time.
I think by next year, maybe we can expect something.
Awesome.
We're kind of taking a different approach to things, and I think it should be cool. It's gonna be
So well, that was like when you guys went into Alchemy for the Dead, you guys changed some things there that really it changed the sound, not in like a not like a, oh my God, they're doing a black metal album or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that, right? But you
totally.
guys really enhanced the sound, and I think being a longtime fan, that is where the less is more was really like starting to shine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to tie it into like the engineering side of things, that was my main focus on that record was the sound of the album. Like, obviously the songs were important, but like what kind of the catalyst for that album was a sonic like imprint that I wanted. I wanted a sound to it, and that dictated how the songs got written, really, and how they were arranged and how everything happened. Which was kind of cool to approach it as like, with our records, especially when I'm working on stuff that's like my own stuff, it's sometimes it's hard to like fully like produce in a sense where like I'm I'm taking I feel like most of our records they've been good I think in production sense, but they've been kind of like just us as a band playing with like some, some bells and whistles here and there. But this one I wanted it to be like a production. I wanted to feel like I was actually like producing a record, and I approached it starting from that point, and the songwriting and the musician part was kind of like separate, or like not secondary necessarily, but it played off of the production more so than the other way around. Um,
That's such a like a unique way I to start building an album from the sonic standpoint and go
yeah.
backwards on that.
Well, it's
Is it hard for you to do that?
I don't know if it's hard or easy. It was just something a different approach that I think it was helpful actually. Like to me, it helped me. I was having a little bit of like writer's block and stuff, and I had a couple ideas, and Chris and I had gotten together and written some parts, but nothing had like really been fleshed out. And yeah, I knew I had like a sound, and I had made a playlist of these songs for all of us to listen to where I was like, I kind of want like elements of these kind of sounds, not necessarily looking to sound like these bands, but like sonic elements. And so like before we even really had songs written or in place, it was more about chasing like that kind of vibe first, and then it helped once I started writing the music, it helped really like get things going, and then it's just started kind of flowing because I had a place to put it, you know, instead of just kind of like waiting for ideas to come. I don't know if that makes sense, but
It absolutely does.
yeah.
I think of it from like a just a writing perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like if you sit down to write and you're waiting for the idea to come, you might be waiting for fucking ever.
It's like if you have I don't, this is a weird analogy, but like if you go out to like IKEA and like see a bunch of cool furniture, right? But you don't have a house to put it in yet,
Yeah.
or whatever, like whatever furniture store you like. Like
Like I want this
you're like,
vibe.
damn, look at that table. That table's
Yeah,
amazing, but you don't have a house yet. Or like you don't know what the house is gonna look like. So maybe that table won't fit in the house. But when
that's
you
so
have the
funny.
house, it's a lot easier to be like, ooh, that couch would look good in that corner and this would look good. And so that's kind of how I think of it. Like I had this structure already to work in, and not necessarily I didn't really like limit myself there, but it gave me something to work in. So
Yeah.
and I mean if I have ways, it's rare these days that I get to work with a band from scratch. Like Hiroe is a great example because I do get to work with them like from the ground up. So like when Eric's writing new stuff, he'll send me the demos, like the rawest demo of just a guitar and like a little drum beat or something, and we start working on it from that point. So I can kind of it gives me an idea of like, oh, okay, this is kind of what we're going to go for this time, and it helps the whole process move along a little better. Um, Obviously,
Yeah.
it doesn't get as because I'm not. It's not my house that I'm building, it's his house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I try to like insert myself there and kind of live in his brain as much as I can and bring that out, you know.
That living in someone else's brain to me sounds really draining, dude. Like,
It can be. Yeah. But it depends on the person. Like somebody like him who we trust each other so much, and he
yeah,
really does trust me, which is awesome, and like can take the criticism and can take the um constructive criticism and the ideas, and also vice versa. So if he's like, I don't know, man, then I'm like, all right, let's try something else, whatever. It's easy. But sometimes, yeah, especially if you don't know each other well, or I don't know, sometimes people just have different energies that don't gel. There's a
yeah.
little push and pull, and I think there it's my job to just lay back and not get in the way, you know.
Yeah. That's I think that that relationship, right? If you have that relationship, I mean, it goes back to like you and Sarah, right? Like that the ability to have essentially a no holds barred conversation.
Yeah,
Like, is it good? Is it bad? Like you kind of know,
right.
uh, what direction you need to go in. That part has got to feel very freeing. You
Yeah.
know, you're like, I gotta protect.
For sure. And I mean, I think with when you're working with people that you're so like-minded that you almost don't need to ask, is it good or is it bad? Like you know what each other think. So
Yeah.
it's just don't do it if it's bad. You know, like you'll know, you know. So it makes it
Uh,
easier. But
it's got to make it easier. Holy shit, I'm
yeah,
gonna see you a lot this year, dude.
awesome.
I'm
Good
not gonna
shit.
see you with Shiner because it doesn't look like you guys are coming anywhere around
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I guess that's more just like east northeast or something from
Yeah,
Midwest and
so
Northeast and then West Coast.
it's like yeah, Wisconsin, Illinois, you're in Youngstown,
All right.
uh then Philly and
New York.
Hamtramck, but I think
Yeah, nowhere near the area.
yeah, I'm just like we're gonna be in Detroit next weekend.
Nice.
It's like just far enough away. Like, man, I
Yeah.
we could make that trip, but we need like more than an overnight. But are you going to be with Molly McGuire?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing in Molly Maguire now.
That's
And that's another record that was awesome to make too, actually. We recently just made that. So I was not only playing on it, but recording them. And I've been a fan for years and known Jason, obviously, Blackie from Sisters. We're like best friends and musical soulmates, and it makes it like super fun to take a band that he's had since he was like 21 years old or younger even, and uh, and yeah, kind of bring it to a whole new place, not only on the production side, but also playing in the band, which has been pretty cool.
that is, dude, you have so much going on.
Yeah,
I'm just like, geez, Mario.
I'm right on
That
the edge of too much at this
yeah,
point.
I'm at that too much point where I'm like, okay, I got to start dialing shit back
Yeah,
somewhere because
yeah.
it's
But you know,
it's
man, we only live once as far as we know, and it's like none of this, there's nothing I can complain about here. This is all amazing, and like I'm just grateful that I have friends that are incredible musicians and either let me, take part in working on their albums or take part in their band in some way or just, you know, hanging out and learning from them. And I'm just extremely lucky and grateful for all that. So
yeah.
the older I get, the more I realize how amazing it is to have any of this still in my life, you know.
It's that I think that is such an important like way to look at it. When we're kids, I don't know if you had that same thing that I had, but for me, I was like, man, music, music, music. My dad's like, you got to find something else. You got to do
Yep,
something else. But
yep.
you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, I was pretty lucky. My parents have always been really supportive for sure, and I have to definitely thank them for that. But still there was like, so what do you really want to do though, you know?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think early on though they figured it out. They're like, all right, he's not doing anything else. We just gotta be there and you know,
Well, and then you gambled on yourself, right? And
yeah.
went all in, and it from the outside looking in, it looks like it's doing exactly what it was supposed to do for you, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, man, again, like I'm incredibly lucky. Like obviously from the outside, it's always different. Like, I
yeah,
think people might have, especially with the band, you might have like different misconceptions about how big or whatever we really are, which we're not. And like we still have to hustle constantly. And um, but on the production side, for me to be like I haven't had to have another job for like the last 8 years, which is crazy. This is all I've been doing is mixing records and recording here and there uh and been able to pay the bills and eat and have a roof over my head and, live a totally comfortable life. And it's insane that, but it wasn't easy. Like I started maybe 30 years ago, if not sooner. I've been playing music since I was 10 years old and trying to
Yeah.
do this since I was a little kid. Um, and none of it really came to fruition. I'm going to be 50, so like it didn't really come to fruition until after my 40s, until after I turned 40. Um, and even now, it's still just a slow climb. But I think a big change was just learning to appreciate it and learning to realize that I'm, yes, I've worked super hard, but like I'm still lucky to just have this. This is amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 100%, dude. Um, that is, I'm also, right, very thankful Jen lets me do some crazy shit,
yeah.
which is freaking awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, you live your life, you do things that fill your soul and make you happy, and like, I mean, that's what it's about, right? Like,
Yeah.
why grind all day long and be miserable and just to like, what's the point of life at that point, you know? We all have to work and we all have to do whatever it takes, but like, we can find things that make us happy and we can find things that make life, enjoyable and worth living. So,
Yep. Yep. And, a lot of that, it comes back to like just how you look at it,
oh
right?
yeah, mindset, man.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Okay, Mario, I know you got shit to do.
All
I am
good.
not going to keep you a whole
All
long.
good.
I love you, dude.
Love
I
you too, man.
cannot.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for your time. It's always great seeing you and
Anytime.
chatting you. Give Sarah a good hug for me and
Will do,
pet pet the animals for me.
for sure.
And dude, go have a great day and I'll see
You
you
too,
soon.
man. All right. I'm seeing
Thanks.
Tomahawk tonight. Yeah.
I wanted to see them. They were in Nashville. We were in Vegas on
No, shit.
and I was like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever. We
Well,
renewed our vows to Elvis.
oh, dude, hell yeah.
It was
Awesome.
10 years, our 10-year anniversary.
Nice. Congrats, man.
This
Amazing.
it was a great year. Awesome.
Awesome. All right, brother.
Mario, have a
Thank
great
you.
night, man.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks. See ya.
Later.